As well as remembering every personal experience I've ever had, I also remember every dream that I've ever had. So I get asked many times as to what very young children dream about. Now, every child and every adult is, of course, different. But for me, I started dreaming when I was about 1.5 years old. I know my age because it was before my second birthday and the night was very cold, so it would have been around winter/springtime, which is 6 months before my birthday. When I started dreaming, it was a very unusual experience because beforehand I'd just fall asleep and then wake up. And I'd fall asleep and wake up more irregularly because I didn't have a proper sleeping pattern before then. But when I was about 1.5 years old, I just went to sleep one night and I found myself in this fruit factory kind of thing with lots of bananas, lots of apples, lots of oranges. And I walked over to this strange looking machine, which was a giant child's ball and shoot game, except there were oranges rolling down the chutes. I spent a lot of time just watching the oranges fall one by one into a box at the end. And while I tried to look for the stickers on the oranges, because that's what I liked to do when I was awake with oranges in a fruit bowl, I'd look for the stickers, I woke up. Now, when I woke up, I was very confused as to what had happened because I thought I really did leave home. And I dream every night from that point onwards. And then I developed a fear of sleeping because I feared that I'd have a dream and then be taken away from home each night. So whenever I woke up in the middle of the night, I'd scream just to make sure that I knew that Mum was there. And I remember when I developed a fear of sleeping, I'd hold my eyelids open and I'd do whatever I could to stay awake. And I'll end this by moving on to when I was a toddler briefly. When I was 2 years old, I still feared dreaming, yet I didn't have the language to ask my mum just as to what dreams were. But as a 2-year-old, I remember when I was 2, I deliberately banged my things around in my bedroom at night. But I knew that if I banged my things around, my parents would come into the room. And what Mum would do, she'd take me out into the living room and she'd allow me to stay up with her, but she'd get me to do activities that would tire me out quickly, such as I used my rocking horse. And then I made myself tired, and it was me who'd go to my mum and say, "Mum, I'm ready for bed now." But of course, as a 2-year-old, I said Mummy and not Mum. And my fear of sleeping that helped a lot, but it finally ended truly when I had enough language to ask my mum, "Why do you keep taking us these strange places every night?" And Mum would say, "I didn't take you out last night." And I said, "Yes, you did. You made us dress up like fairies and you gave us these magic powers that we could fly and we could do all these strange things." And Mum said, "It must have been a dream." And then I went, "Oh, that's what they're called." And that's